What's up, locals? Well, you already know, you clicked on the video. Today we are doing a comparison, don't need that just yet, of the first run Stig versus the brand new Glow Stig. If you're a Castaplast fan, you must know that Castaplast on October 30th dropped this little run of glow plastic. They did a Glow Stig, the Glow Vas, or Vas. Sorry again, my apologies if I say these wrong. I know these are Swedish names and I'm probably not doing them justice. So feel free to correct me in the comments if I say it wrong. But the Stig, the Vas, the Gold, and the Kroot are the four. And limited run of these. And it says, for all our missing loved ones, with the picture of a candle on the front. These sold out quickly, and so quickly, in fact, that I didn't initially get my hands on one, but a huge shout out to our friend Cole here in the Calgary community, who got a couple and managed to hook me up with one. So I've been kind of curious. I love myself some glow plastic, and I'm super curious to see how this one flies against my first run, which I found to be fairly flippy. And again, we are at elevation here, 1,045 meters above sea level, which means, you know, if you're close to sea level or at a lower elevation, this disc is actually going to be even more flippy for you, and this disc is going to be less flippy for me. It's going to be more stable at a higher elevation. I will put in some clips of this disc glowing, but I just left our one shop, Limber Disc Golf, here in Calgary. I'll leave a link to them down below. They're just an amazing shop, so check them out. But I was over there and they had the Latitude 64 Glow Jade. Super cool disc, 9.6 minus 2.1. Again, for you Castaplast fans, you're going, well, that's just my Falk. And that is, you know, a great sort of understable 9-speed disc, one of my favorites. But the cool thing about that Jade is that they've released it in some lightweight glow plastic, sort of an unheard of thing, 159 grams. But since that merger with Castaplast and, the umbrella of Trilogy, all being owned by the same outfit, it appears that maybe some of that glow technology that Castaplast uses is being borrowed because that Latitude 64 Jade had some phenomenal glow to it. And on a quick test over at the shop, that Latitude 64 Jade glowed brighter than this Glow Stig. This Stig was a little underwhelming, truthfully, in glow. Now, at home, I've got some older Castaplast. I've got some MVP. I'll overlay that here as well to give you an idea of like how bright it is compared to, my older Castaplast Falk and some MVP stuff, just to give you an idea of like sort of how it compares. But at first look, this was not as bright as some of my other Castaplast. If you're not familiar with this disc, it is a 6-speed, -2.1 on the turn and fade, so a little bit understable. So for the slower arm speed, this is a great either straight flyer, maybe gentle turnover line, and if you've got more power, could be that hyzer flip disc. Anyway, we're going to give this a few throws now and see how they compare. Pretty flat release, I think. Kind of nice turnover line and held, like didn't cut roll, just kind of carried. I probably want to get that disc up a little bit higher to kind of maximize that line. Just for fun, I did bring this Glow Crave just as another 6-speed, just to throw it and get a sense for like what it's doing. Wow, it's a great flight. First lick, these just feel great. I think for a slightly slower arm speed, a hear people rant and rave about the Glow Crave, and I get that, but this disc, if you feel like that Crave is still stable, especially in the Glow plastic, this might be a really nice option for you. And one of the things I think I really like about Glow as well, I haven't thrown the Stig a lot. I feel like here in Calgary it can be quite windy a lot of the time. To have an afternoon like this that's so quiet and so calm is kind of rare. So, in windier conditions, unless it's a tailwind, I'm not really reaching for this disc. But a lot of times in the evening for a Glow round, here more often than not, the wind calms down for the evening. So I'm much more likely to use an understable disc, and where, I feel like we're always, if you're a Glow fan like I am, we're always looking for better Glow and more understable Glow, because so much Glow tends to fly overstable. Finding something that's sort of mid-range-ish or up to a 9-speed where, you can get those like nice turnover lines out of them, especially if you've got an average arm and average power like myself, kind of like that 300-foot, roughly player. 290 to 350 is where I kind of put myself, and this really could be an interesting option. And with calmer evenings, I may find myself throwing this Stig more than I even expected, because this week at Glow I was throwing my Falk, which is a 9.6 minus 2.1, and I just didn't feel like I was getting, that disc to turn over. Sometimes I get it to turn over, but I'm not always consistent with that. So on a night where I'm throwing that Falk and I feel like it's not, flying the way I want it to, having a slower disc like this is likely going to lead to that, reaction. I've talked a lot too about the Thought Space Athletics Mana as a 5.5 minus 2.1. And it's a great disc, but sometimes I just wish it was a little bit longer flying. And so this Stig could be absolutely that disc. Let's get this thing to flip up one more time. I'm really feeling it now. Oh, are you kidding me? So much distance. Oh, I love that. Such a nice flight. I hope the camera picked that up. Oh my gosh, if you could do that every time. Flipped up to flat, gentle turn, and a nice carry, really good distance. That's when you get that turnover shot to really maximize your distance. Okay, Glow Stig, can I repeat it? Probably not. Oh, she flipped to flat. Oh, she held too. Oh man. Okay, not as far, maybe not as much of a gentle turn, but when I released that, I didn't think I thought I gave it too much hyzer. I didn't think it was gonna hold that line, and it did. Man, I kind of forgot about how good this disc is. I'm glad this Glow Stig came out, because it's got me throwing that first run again. And hard to say, I feel like they're pretty close. If you have both in your bag, if you manage to get one, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know if you're finding yours flying pretty similar. I didn't mention at the beginning, but the first run Stig I think is a 172, and my Glow is 173. So weight-wise, they're almost identical. And I feel like the flight is nearly identical. And for the first run, even though it's been out for a while, it hasn't been thrown much. It's almost new. So in terms of a disc beating in, I would say these discs are identical right now. And in terms of feel and flight, once you start to get some confidence up and you start to throw this thing, I think you're gonna love it. Huge thanks again to Cole. Really appreciate it. This was such a fun one. My name is Ryan.
This is Local. We are local.